Hi, I'm Alfie Briggs, and welcome to Allwood's Cookery Theatre. We have with us here tonight Eleanor Martin, Siemens' foremost expert and culinary genius, to demonstrate a few appliances and dishes with a Christmas theme. She'll be doing a honey roast ham, some chocolate chip cookies, and the obligatory steamed Christmas pudding. We have, of course, our bespoke Allwood kitchen, fully equipped with the Siemens appliances. And in front of me, we have the flex induction hob. Up to my right, we have the teppanyaki, as good with fish and vegetables as it is with meats. This side of the room, we've got the active clean single oven, full grill fan with pull-out runners. We've also got our combination microwave oven with grill, and our most intriguing piece of all, the steam oven with the full fan function. At Allwoods, we use these events to try and help our customers get the most use of their appliances, and it's really nice to be able to have Eleanor here as well to fire a few questions at and get the most from her. We did decide to go one step further this time, so we streamed it live from our own website. We've also got it uploaded so you can watch it afterwards. If you do want any information, drop us a line or email us to mail@allwood.co.uk. We're on Facebook as well. We've got all the recipes, and any tips or tricks about the ovens or the kitchen, by all means, get in touch. So we're going to jump straight into the video. Eleanor's about to show us the steam cooker, and enjoy the show.
What I've done is I've steamed my Christmas puddings here, they're just little ones, and I also steamed some rice, which I'll reheat a little later on. This is some basmati rice, and it does absolutely beautifully steamed in the combi steamer. You can also obviously use it for things like any kind of steaming veg, and if you see the rice, it's absolutely perfect in this. You can do brown rice, lentils, quinoa, all that kind of thing that you'd normally do on the hob, and you can operate that here. So we'll serve that. I'm doing a stir-fry dish later on, so there's a bit of rice just done for that. Christmas puddings, again, we'll reheat a little bit later on. And I would explain all the different functions as we go of what everything does. As Alfie said, more questions the merrier. Quite happy to answer any questions. Can you all hear me okay? Yeah? Good. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is get something into this this oven here. It's the compact combination microwave oven. It's an oven, but it also has a microwave function. So you can you can use it as an oven. It's got all kinds of lovely things on there. But I'm going to cook a cake in it, and I'm going to use the combination cooking, which means that I'm going to use the fan, and I'm adding in some watts, microwaves, to speed up the cooking. And what it can do is it actually sort of cuts your cooking time in half, which is brilliant. It suits some people, and it doesn't suit others. This is a carrot cake, by the way, that's going to go in. This you don't have the recipe for, so my apologies for that. But I've got oil, dark brown sugar, and some egg in here, and I've got another egg going in, just whisking that. Does any of this show up in the camera? Yeah. Good. Okay, great. That's brilliant. So we're just whizzing that up. Don't worry if you have a few little lumps of brown sugar. It'll be okay. It kind of works itself out, sort of thing. And this is a tray bake. In your recipe, which you don't have, it tells you to do it in a round tin. But I'm just going to do it as a tray bake because it's easier to cut for this number. It stretches further for this number of people for you all to taste. Did anyone have dinner before they came out? No? Very optimistic. Okay, we'll see what we end up with. But I think bang bang chicken going about 27 ways. You may only have a small sample, but we'll do our best anyway. I won't go home with any leftovers. Okay, so I've got this to a nice kind of sticky consistency. And then what I'm going to do is just put in the rest of my ingredients, which is pecan nuts, carrots, orange rind, sultanas going in, and also a little bit of self-raising flour. That's going in too. So I'll just get one of these. And what I'm going to do is just mix all this up and throw it into the combi microwave rather, sorry. Now I can do this in the regular multifunction oven. This oven you see, the first oven, which is your sort of main workhorse in the kitchen. But as I said, it's going to speed up your cooking. So the nice thing about the combination microwave in the middle, the compact one, is that as you can use it as a fan and a microwave, it saves space and saves time. So you have two appliances in one, and the fact that you can combine the cooking to speed everything up, which makes life a lot easier. Okay, that's gone in like this. I have a baking sheet that's been lined with some non-stick paper here. I'll just get rid of that. And we're going to put this in here and we're going to cook it for about 22 minutes. Now, I have to be honest, I've not done this particular cake in the combi microwave. So I'm going to give it 20 minutes and I'm going to check. It'll take somewhere between 20 and 25. But if I was doing it in my main oven, it was going to take 45, 50 minutes, okay? So we'll just spread that out like so. It's quite a sort of dark, sticky cake, this. It's not like a really light, fluffy cake, okay? And that's that going in, says she, optimistically. And we're going to pop these in on hot air and steam combined. And we're going to give those at 220, so really nice hot oven. Let me just see. Yeah, they'll be okay like that. And I'm just going to turn the cooking time down to about, I think they take about 14 minutes, from what I remember. 220, hot air and steam, and that's it. Simple as that. So you'll be able to see when they come out, when you bake in this. There's all kinds of other functions I'll go through when that sort of thing comes out. I'm also going to cook a really nice piece of ham in that oven that I steamed yesterday. I think I steamed it. Was it this morning? I can't remember actually. But I steamed it, and now I'm going to put it on hot air and steam to do the glaze. So that'll be that. Okay. I want to get a few things into the main. Once I get everything into the oven, it's easier to sort of talk about it. Otherwise, nothing will be cooked for you to taste. And I have some chocolate chip cookies here, a couple of trays of these. And they are going to go into the first oven here. This is the big oven in your kitchen, if you like. This is going to be anything you can put up to. Last year in this, I cooked an 18-pound ham on the bone. I was sort of slightly horrified because I ordered an organic ham because I wanted to try this company in Tipperary who are making organic hams, and I bought one and it arrived, and I had to cook and I had to coat, but it actually fitted in here. And I also cooked a 12-pound turkey. But much more than that, you're going to struggle with in the combi steam. So you'd have to come over here. Who's cooking Christmas dinner this year? Anybody? Quite a few. Yes, yeah. Anyone cooking Christmas dinner for the first time this year? No, you're all veterans. Oh, that's good. So no one's scared of that. That's good. Okay. So in that goes there. Now, so I've got my 2 trays of chocolate chip cookies, and I also have a tray of cheese, onion, and ham tartlets. I've given you a recipe for those, and I've given you it as a full recipe. I'm just doing it in mini ones, so it gives you a better tasting. They've got a bit of mustard in them as well. They're going in. So you can mix and match your flavors. Can you see all? You probably can't all see, but all the Siemens ovens are numbered. They're numbered 1 to 5. So you can go 1, 3, and 5 when you're stacking up your shelves. Okay, so it means that it just makes life a lot easier. You know exactly which oven position to put anything in. You're not guessing. A lot of ovens don't give you that. They also, with the oven, you get a nice big wide, what we call universal tray. So you have plenty of space. It's a nice big tray, and you can use all that space when you're grilling or when you're baking. It's quite a decent size. Now on this first one, 3D hot air, I can mix and match all the different flavors. I could put a tray bake of garlicky chicken with some whatever I wanted on the bottom. I could put a mixed veg with more garlic and different herbs if I wanted to, and then up on the top I could put something like an apple crumble. So you can mix it all up, and it doesn't make any difference. You're not going to get oniony. It won't transfer the flavors. And a lot of people are quite surprised by that, but it is such a high quality oven that it does that. But it also has, I'll just quickly run through, you have here also on this one, Hot Air Eco, which is if you want to just use single shelf cooking, the bottom half of the oven comes on if you like. So say I only was cooking, say, those tarts, I would use Hot Air Eco. And that means that you're going to use about 30% less power. So it's ideal if you just want to cook 1 tray of food. You just want to make sure you use the bottom of the oven, 2 and 3, okay? And then we have top and bottom heating for Christmas cake. And anyone make Christmas cake anymore? Yeah, God, very brilliant. Okay, top and bottom heating. You want to always use, for top and bottom heating, shelf level 2. Okay, very important. And then you have hydrobaking, which is another baking function where the back of the oven will actually, this is only on this model, will shut, and the cavity of the oven stays really lovely and moist. So you get a better keep quality and you get a better rise. You get even better results if you use the combi steam. Hydrobaking, Pizza setting, where the bottom, I'm going to put the tarts onto that because the fan is running, but the bottom element is engaged. Intensive heat is for a drier heat, so it's for baking. If you want to make things like tarte tatin or pastry, you can do that. Or say your cake is burning too much or browning too much on the top, you can just intensify the bottom heat. Bottom heating for cooking in a bain-marie or a stew, something like that. Hot air grilling, that's for roasting, really useful. You can roast directly on this. Put your joint on here, like so, and you can roast, or you can put your joint of meat directly on the oven shelf itself. Grill, large area with 3 settings, small area, slow cooking, defrosting, plate warming, keeping warm, and recommended settings, which I'll go through later on because I want, yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'll put it back on to what I want, which is before everything goes soggy in the oven. 190 3D hot air and press start. Now I'm also going to set the timer for about 10 minutes on this because if I don't, I forget what I've done, if you know what I mean. Everything starts burning because all the ovens start going off all at once. So I'll set this for about 12 minutes to see. That's grand. So all those ovens, all our ovens, you can set the timers to come on at a certain time or go off at a certain time. So it's useful if you want to, you know, if you're out at work all day and you want to leave even some potatoes or something in the oven to be done, your oven can come on and go off, and it's useful from that point of view. Okay, so we've got everything started in the ovens, which is very important. The cheese scones are, let me just check. Oh yeah, they're okay, they're rising nicely. This cake is rising nicely, and the cookies and everything. Okay, that's good. We've made a good start there. That's grand. So I'm going to does anyone have any questions? Everyone okay? Yep?
Are you cooking the meat uncovered?
Yes, I am.
Only in this one?
Well, which one? This one?
Yes.
You can cook covered or uncovered. It depends how you want your meat to end up. So we do it covered. And something I forgot to say on this oven actually is this cleaning function called Active Clean Now, which is the most efficient form of self-cleaning. And what that is it will come on, the oven will come on and go up over 500 degrees, and literally all the dirt is incinerated. If you don't have it, I'd highly recommend it if you're getting an oven. It doesn't have to be, you know, this particular, it's on all our models now, isn't it, Rodney? Down to IQ 500 and 700, yeah. But it is a really useful thing to have. And so if you're cooking, say, directly on this shelf and you get a lot of spatter, it's very easy to clean. It becomes extremely easy to clean. Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah, okay. Now, I'm just going to take these Christmas puddings out and we'll see. Yeah, oops, that's not a very good exit. I think they've gone a little bit soggy because I'll just do a little bit of a patch-up job here and make a better effort to get them out. I'll reheat these again a little bit later on. Okay, there we go. That's better. Once you smell the Christmas pudding, it feels like Christmas, doesn't it? Yeah. These are individual ones, and you can do these. You can do bigger or smaller. I did a batch of about 12 pounds, and I got them all in one go. So it's very easy to do a big steaming batch. You can also do things like steamed fish and so on. This is in the combi steam. It doesn't have to be this, but I also do things like a lot of steamed puddings, all that kind of thing. It's also very, very useful if, say, you want to make a chicken pie, something like that. You can steam your. We'll heat those up in a minute. You can steam your chicken in the dish that you're given with, say, a bit of white wine, and then you can, once it's cooked, it stays lovely and moist. You can drain off the sauce and use that to make a stock and use that to make a sauce. So it just sort of alleviates a lot of pressure on the hob, if you like. Okay. So I'm sure you're all hungry, so we'll start getting you something to eat. Here. Okay, so I'm going to use the teppanyaki, and we've got some bang bang chicken, which is basically chicken that has been marinated in some spices, peanut butter, and chili. It's not too hot. Okay, it's just a little bit hot. And I'm using the teppanyaki is like a sort of very high grade flat frying pan, for want of a better word. But you don't have to do meats and so on it. You can do things like griddle scones, all that kind of thing. but it's a lovely even temperature throughout. So you've got plenty of surface area. If you really like things like steaks and, whatever, a lot of chicken, that sort of thing, and you like it fried, then it's delicious. And you can also do stir fries, noodles, vegetables, whatever you want. Now this one, you can operate the front and the back independently. So you can just turn on half of it, or you can turn on the whole thing. Now, this chicken doesn't look terribly appetizing, but anyway, we'll get it on cooking. It looks better when it's cooked, I promise. I shouldn't look at my food like that and go, ugh, but anyway. I tell you what it is, it's the spices. They sort of look a bit weird. You know what I think I did? I've got some somewhere I bought with me, some cocktail sticks, but I'm not sure what I've done with them. So we're going to cook this on here. There we are. And it's going on. Actually, I need a second glove. It's just really very convenient, this. And it's useful for if you're doing cooking for big numbers and so on, batch cooking things. So we'll pop this on here and we'll cook it nice and slow. Actually, it's going to be cooked quite hot. I have it at 240. But last time I was here, I did a stir-fried noodle dish, steak, all kinds of things on here, or drop scones. I actually thought I'd do that next time in the spring. But this time, this is more like a sort of finger food, Christmas finger food dish on here. So we just spread all this out. It looks slightly better when I spread it out. That's it. Now, it's always tricky, isn't it, getting good party food that you can make ahead of time, but you can certainly make this well ahead of time, which is good, and marinate it, and then just cook it off and reheat it if you want to. Just be careful with chicken, obviously. Now, that's it. Now I'm going to just turn this down ever so slightly, because of the sugar in this, it will burn if I cook it too quickly. So I can just turn this down using the touch slide control, which is brilliant. Okay, that's it. And wash my hands.
Sorry, Alan, whenever you're washing your hands, I did promise you that we weren't videoing the audience, but we are going to take photographs of the Tatler. So, sorry, this is Ian. If anybody's wondering what he's doing, yeah, it's pretty clear now.
Anyone want to be anonymous? Look down now, exactly. Yeah. Work away. Yeah, the scone's nearly done. All right, that's grand. So we'll just keep an eye on this, and you can regulate this. The nice thing about this, you can regulate it up or down as you wish, and it cooks nice and evenly and quickly all the way through. So it makes life just easy. I'm not going to I'm turning that a bit too quickly. Actually, it's not. Right now, just see. Yeah. Just turned it down ever so slightly. We'll let that cook away. That's perfect. And I'm nearly ready now to take out my scones here. They're nearly done. Now, ooh, you can see here, I don't know if you can see here, these are baked. So I have these scones nicely baked in the oven. So you can see, cooking with steam, that they go really dark. And you get a lovely crust, and they're going to keep far better than they would if you didn't cook with steam, okay? I'm going to just give those the last little bit of cooking time. It's always worth just popping them back in for one more minute, okay? And I'll pop them in here just so I can see. And that's, yeah, we'll finish off that last little bit of cooking. Come back here and see, and just check what everything else is okay. Okay, it's good. Right, I'm going to turn this back up a little bit, get this cooking nicely. It's a very useful gadget. Is there something anyone's ever cooked with one of these before? Nope? Okay. Right. Let that brown off a little bit more, I think. There we go. I don't know if you can see that, how it's taking on a nice bit of colour there, which is lovely. It's what we want. Actually, this in the summer, this chicken goes very nicely on the barbecue. And I should have cooked this on with skewers. Normally you put skewers through the chicken, but because for some reason you can't get skewers outside of barbecue season. Has anyone noticed that? So it's actually just cooking on its own like that. But I do have somewhere some cocktail sticks. I just have to find them. That's it. Rod, I think I've managed. Is Rodney there? Yeah. Have I turned the back of this off slightly? Looks like I have. I always thought that was turning it on.
No, I think that's on the maybe.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll take these scones out now. So they're quite large, but you can do these. These are very nice. The reason I included these tonight is that they can go very nicely, a smaller version of these split with a little bit of mascarpone and stuff like that as party food. You put a bit of mascarpone cheese and roast pepper if you want to. We'll let those cool a little bit until they're cool enough for you to try. Hi, how are you? And we'll take those off. Sorry, there we go. That's it. And check the oven here. For start, that's on there. And yeah, I just want to have a look at this oven here because I haven't done this cake before. I don't want to overcook it. Actually, I think that's very nearly done now. It's all. I'll just give it that nice little bit. And away we go there. That's grand. And then we'll have something for you to taste. Yeah, I think that's what... I must have had the front... I had the front on and not the back. Sorry about that. That's my own mistake. Let me get this out of here. And now, did I turn that back on? I have. Yeah, that's good. I think I managed to forget to turn this oven back on as well. But it's okay because the counting... We're fine and it'll all be fine. I think I was too busy talking, so I didn't actually do it. But never mind. It's okay. It'll all be all right in the end. Says she very hopefully. Okay. So now we are going to get this oven back on here, and I want to put it onto hot air and steam again and press start. It automatically comes up to 30 minutes, and I want to put in some ham. Now this is just a piece of gammon. It's dry cure gammon that has been steamed, and now I'm going to put it onto hot air and steam just to let the glaze do its thing. So it just has honey and brown sugar, mustard, and it was cooked in cider. So that's the ham. So now we're putting it back into this oven, hot air and steam, for about 30 minutes. And then I'm just going to put it down here and let it cook away and do its thing, okay? So we'll be able to taste that a little bit towards the end. I put it on slightly higher than I might just to get it done in the time allowed, because I always try and do as much as I can in that oven. But you'll see the way that it'll go up lovely and crispy and beautiful and brown. You can also, I would do things like roasting a leg of lamb, that kind of thing. You never cover it. You just put some olive oil, I just stab it a little bit, put a little bit of olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper, herbs, and rub it over the top of the lamb and then roast it for about an hour and 10 minutes. And it's phenomenally good. It really is good because normally when you roast meat in this oven, it's a very dry heat, so you're going to lose a lot of moisture. You lose about 30% of the moisture in a normal oven in meat. But in this oven, you don't lose that degree of moisture at all. So it ends up staying lovely and moist. You try the ham and see what you think anyway. And what I'm going to do now is get the rice ready to reheat because I'm going to do a stir fry as well on the induction hob. So I'm just going to pop this into the bowl here. That's it there. There we go. And just break up that rice if there's any kind of... I do brown basmati rice. I do all sorts of stuff in the combi steam. But I'm going to reheat this in the microwave in... Oh, not a very good fork. Just break that up. Well, I think we're nearly done there. What I'm going to do is just take the temperature of the meat. Just one sec here. And we'll just try this for my new gadget. Very handy for Christmas Day, these. We're bringing out a new range of ovens. Isn't that right, Rod? Am I allowed to say that?
Studio line, yeah.
Studio line. Oh, you're brilliant. Thank you. Studio line, which will have these thermometers built in, so that you can have this attached to your oven and program it. You can cook your meat with a probe in it, and you can program it so that when it comes up to the temperature you want, the oven will switch off. Yeah, automatically. So it's really handy. That's done. It's great. Yeah, so we put that on a plate, and everyone can try a little bit of that. It's dead handy if, say, you want to do, you'll get a book with all the oven temperatures for rare. Say you love fillet of beef rare. It sort of takes all the guesswork out of it for you. That makes sense. Right, this is my cake that's in the combination microwave oven that took 20 minutes. And we'll just pop this out. have a look and see how it is. Yep, that looks perfect. Okay, so that took 20 minutes. Microwave combi gentle. All right, so it would take 40 minutes in the regular oven. You can see it's lovely and brown and even, just quick, just dead quick. And plus it doesn't dry out, which is great. Now what I'm going to do, before I go any further with this cake, I'm going to put a bit of syrup on it. And I have in here some orange juice and caster sugar. And I'm going to put this in here in a metal bowl. And we're going to just put it on microwave, 1,000 watts for a minute, just to heat up. And we're going to put a bit of orange syrup. And because of the technology in that oven, you can microwave with metal, which is dead handy. And I also cooked the cake with in a metal tin. So there's none of this sort of cooking your cakes in a pudding basin and all this sort of stuff. You can do it and you can get them nice and brown. A lot of people, this oven appeals to a lot of people who may be out at work and that kind of thing. Everything's quick. So for instance, if I was cooking in my regular oven, a 1.2 kilo chicken would take about an hour and 10 minutes in here. And in the combination microwave, it would take about 35 minutes. And in this oven here, it's going to take about an hour. So the combi steam will cook a little bit more quickly. This will cook a great deal more quickly. And this is just, normal pace. So it's horses for courses. It depends what suits you. And whether or not... Oh, look at this. We've got little flags and everything. Very nice. 10 out of 10 for presentation, Rod. Okay. So that is now nice and bubbling, my syrup here. Wait, can we see the camera? See that there? Can you see it there? There we are. Nice and hot and bubbly. So we'll just... It's bang bang chicken. It's Asian chicken. It's a peanut and a little bit of sweet chili sauce, turmeric, cumin, and that's it, I think. So it's got a little bit of spice. Just pour over the syrup. Try and get it evenly as you can. There we are. That's that. Okay. So I think we'll just let those cool ever so slightly. I'm going to see if I can get this cake out. That's what I'm going to do. Is get this out on here just to cool a little bit more quickly. So I have time to put in a cream cheese icing in for you to taste it before you go. Okay. So that's on there. The ham is in. The cookies are on. That's it. Now, this I want to heat up my rice, and I'm going to do that in the microwave. It's very handy. You can just put your metal bowl in there. So obviously, you do... Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Turn it on. 1,000 watts. Actually, 600 is enough. And I'll give that about 3 minutes. Okay, there we are. Right, we're going to use... Oh, the teppanyaki is quite easy to clean. You just put ice on there, and you let it cool down a little bit, and then you throw a bit of ice on there, and it just sizzles off. Okay, the dirt. I hope we have ice in there. We'll have a look. All right, we're going to do a stir fry to go with the rice because we want to try and taste savoury and then sweet, obviously. So I'm going to just take out a tray from the oven here, and I want to show you the wok, the induction hob. All right, so I'm doing a lovely beef stir fry with this is with fillet of beef. You can use sirloin as well. Has anyone got interest in induction? Anyone interested in induction? Yeah. For those of you who don't know, induction is a way of cooking with electricity that does not involve heat as such. It does obviously involve heat to cook, but heat is not being produced by the hob in the same way. So if I turn this on here, turn it right up to 9, put my hand on it, it's completely cold. So it makes it a terribly safe way to cook. I know some of you know all this, but for those of you who don't, it's very handy. What I have in front of me here is a flex induction, which is the sort of more, I suppose, the kind of latest thing. And that means you have a whole area you can use. So say I'm doing a gravy or something like that, and I want to use just pretend this is a gravy pan. It doesn't actually go on the induction. You can do nice long pans on this, or you can do... Last time I was here, I had a griddle pan, a long griddle pan. It was very handy. So you can use that on the flex. You can use the front, the back, or the whole thing. So the front and the back operate independently. So I have some chocolate here that I'm just melting on number 1. And then I can put that on behind if I wanted to. And then the front here, I can put on number 9. So you can really get the most amount from a small appliance, if you like. It's not that big, but you get plenty of room to have lots of different things. I could fit on another pot on there if I wanted to. This also is touch slide, so it means when you touch, you just slide up and down. There's also the ones that go plus and minus as well, for those of you who have seen or looking at one. So I can turn that up to 9. The thing I like about induction, apart from the fact that it looks nice and it actually is very easy to clean and there's no knobs or anything like that, is that it responds in the same way that gas does. When you turn it up, it gets hot. When you turn down, it's instant. It's not this waiting. You don't have to wait. There's always a slight delay with a ceramic hob. So it's very, very efficient way to cook. And someone was saying to me, Paula, who's a product trainer with Siemens, was saying to me that with this appliance, when you're cooking with induction, you waste about 10% of the energy that's produced. But when you're cooking with ceramic, you could lose up to 60% of the energy. So it's a bit like having an open fire as opposed to a really modern stove. You know, where with an open fire, most of the heat's going up the chimney. What's happening here? Okay, great, that's fine. So that is the rice. I'll give that another minute. Okay, that's grand. The ham is on, cooking away nicely. That's grand. And everything's nearly done in here. Good. Those cookies actually are just about done. I'm going to take those out, I think, just before the buzzer. Okay, so I'll just take those out and I'll move on to the next thing before I do the wokage here. So the cookies, you may not be able to see here, but you get a nice even bake. So everything's nice. I don't know where we can spot that on the camera. Camera over here. So you get a nice, now I cut that one a little bit small and that one a bit big. So that's a cook error, but you do get a nice even bake. And that's on all 3 levels at once. So you don't have to do any of this shifting around in the oven or any of that. It's the same, this one is the same, okay? Those 2 there. And then the tarts that I have here, I'm going to switch the oven over now to the pizza setting. You don't have to do that, but it just means that I'm going to get, the fan will be going and the bottom heat will be engaged. So I didn't blind bake that pastry, which means that it's just going to make the bottom of the pastry nice and crispy, which is what I want. And, you know, crispy pastry is a good thing, obviously. We don't want the soggy bottoms, as Barry always says. So that's going well. That's grand. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of cooking in the wok. And I'm going to just... This is an induction wok. The one thing about induction, you can't use every single pan. You need to have magnetic surface. So if you just pop a fridge magnet, you'll be able to, on the bottom, if it sticks, you'll be able to use it. And very often coated aluminium is good, or coated copper is even better, but a bit expensive, but it does work very well. Okay, this is really simple. I've got some black beans, fillet of beef, asparagus, and I have some onion that is slightly cooked because I forgot to bring a raw shallot, so I had some onion slightly cooked for the tart. So that's all that is. So in goes the, what do I put in first? Let's put the beef. No, hang on a sec. Let's do the asparagus. That goes in there. Just cook that up a little bit with the onion. There we go. And the nice thing about this is, the minute it gets too hot, I can just turn it straight down and not worry about a delay. And it's very hard. I've always found it very hard on a ceramic hob to do something like a stir fry, but it's actually very easy with this, which is good. Okay. And the one thing is that this, you don't really want to overcook the beef if you can, because it's beautiful fillet and it wants to be nice and rare, which is why I'm starting with the onion and the asparagus, which takes a little bit longer to cook. And I think what we might do is split those and cut them, put a bit of butter and cut them, Rod, if you wouldn't mind. And I have a board there and a knife here. And we have also, and there's some butter out as well, Rod, that should be cool. There we go. So just letting that cook up nicely. And I'm going to add in now the beef. There we go. That's going to go in. Now I want this to get really nice and hot because I need to cook that beef, get it really, really sizzling. And what we have here is on all the induction hobs. There's something called Power Boost. I don't know if anyone's seen that. And what that does is it gives you an absolute boost. You borrow power from the hob in front or behind, and it's only just for a quick boost of energy. Is it getting too smoky in here? You okay? Okay, good. And I'm going to start, just get that little bit browner. You have to be very careful with the Power Boost because it will burn very quickly. Don't put your porridge on it in the morning. You'll end up with a horrible porridge volcano. It doesn't work at all. But this works extremely well. So pots, yes, you have to just make an investment. With the Flex, are we still doing the offer, Rod? I think it is. There's still offer on the Flex induction. You get a set of pots and a frying pan, a free set of pots and a frying pan. So, and they're worth just under €200. They're probably about £150, I suppose. So that's that. And yeah, here we go. A little bit more. Now I'm just going to start to add my sauce, which is a mixture. Oh, hang on, black beans going in with the beef. Just some cooked black beans, about 2 tablespoons. And then I have this mixture of sauce, soy sauce and various other. It's all in your recipe there. That's all going in here to get a lovely dark sauce going in, and rice wine and various other things as well. The main thing here is not to overcook the beef, because otherwise it ends up being really, not nice. And that's your stir fry, how easy it is to do. Just cook it a little bit longer, just to get that asparagus ever so slightly more cooked. Okay. So how are you finding your induction hobs, those of you who have it? You probably don't want to say. You like it? Yeah, good. I think the other thing I like about induction that a lot of people don't think about or wouldn't sort of really think about is if you're, say, cooking something like a ham or a stew or something that has long slow cooking, very often if you open a window or something, gas will blow out. Or you're not quite sure if you leave it nice and low. With this, you have 18 settings. So you can leave it on a 3.5, something like that, for 3 or 4 hours, and it's going to stay absolutely just solid. It doesn't, or something like a stock, a chicken stock or something like that. You want to do really long slow cooking. It works incredibly well. Okay, I think that the beef is done nicely now. I'll just give it a tiny bit more sauce so that we can spread out all the rice. Give it a little bit more sauce. And I better just taste that to make sure it all tastes okay. I'll just grab a spoon from over here. Excuse me. There we go. Now, yeah, the asparagus is still a bit tough. Okay. Right, there we are. We'll take that off. Okay, so rice. Right. Now that's got hot, obviously, because it's been in the oven. Let's take this out. So that's my rice nicely cooked. You might have to cut those up a little bit. Oh, well done, Rod, yeah. Yeah, and just, oh, well done, yeah. That's great. Right, let me just clear all this away so we can see what we're doing here. And yeah, that's running a little bit hot. I'll turn that down. There we are. Okay, we'll just do little tastings of this now, so you can see. Grab this. Now, that's it. Okay, now we have a spoon. There we are. I think I managed to forget to bring spoons. That's all right. We'll do it like this. There we are. Yep. Oh, I'm not sure we're going to get this 20 ways very comfortably, but we'll see. I might just do tiny little bits, I think. It's probably the best. Get everyone to have a little taste. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Rod. Yeah. These are cheese and chive scones, just with some butter, fresh butter. That's all. How many are we, Rod? Okay, great. We'll do a few more here. That's lovely. There we go. So I'm going to do, and these could do with a little bit of, I'm just going to give just a tiny bit because we only have a tiny bit really. And we just need a fork. Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Rod. This is awkward to do. Yeah. Yeah. I've only got one spoon. If you look behind, somewhere in there should be some spoons. For some reason, I only brought one spoon with me, Rod. Sorry. I'll tell you what. We can use, let's use, hang on. We use that for this, and we use that. I'll use this for the, use that for the rice. There we are. And I'll use this for this. There we go. Yep, that'd be great. Thank you. Just going to go for 20 of these. There we are. Just a little taste. There we go. Now, this is like the feeding the 5,000 here. Okay, I'll let you continue on with that, and I'm just going to now. Is everybody getting a sample? I hope we're not running out. Did anyone miss out on anything? A little sample of the food. Good. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. You're not getting any? You're sharing? Yeah. Sharing. Okay. So I'm going to put some chocolate on. Just a tiny bit because it isn't. I'm just going to use up some of this chocolate because I don't want to waste it. Obviously, I'm going to put some more chocolate on the chocolate chip cookies. It's nice dark chocolate as well. It's good. It's going to go on there. I just a little homemade piping bag. Just about a tiny bit. Yep. Okay. So we'll pop a bit of chocky on here. Yeah. We'll do this here. There's very little in it. It was only a tiny bit, just a little bit of beef, that's all. Okay, there we go. Let's get these on together. Let's get these ready. There we are. Right, back to these. So I want to just finish off a few of my sweet things. So I've got my chocolate here melted. I'm just going to put this over the cookies just to use it up. But I wanted to just show you with the induction, the fact that at low temperatures, it's very versatile. So you can end up just, making the absolute most of your you don't have to cook things in a bain-marie, and you can do melt chocolate and all kinds of stuff, which is very handy. Right, they're going to be all ready to go in about 1 minute. We'll just let those rest a little bit. And I also want to ice the cake. So that's here. I'll bring that over here so you can see what I'm doing. Tidy up a little bit. And we're going to put some cream cheese icing on here. Okay. And then we'll serve you some dessert. There's cream cheese icing going on here now in a minute. Or did that have? No. Okay. Now, does anyone have questions while we're cooking away? Anything you want to ask us about any particular appliance or anything? No?
When you're using the cleaning function in the office,
Yes.
do you leave the racks?
No, the racks have to come out. That's a very good question. They're actually quite easy just to pop out, and you just pop them out, and it takes about 30 seconds.
Does that include the tray as well?
No, what you get with it, you can put the tray in. What you get when you buy the oven is you get a couple of these little D hooks, and they look like sort of elongated D, wire D, the letter D. And what you do is you take the wire racks out, and there's holes where the wire racks go into, and you put those little D hooks in there, and then you stick the tray. That big universal tray can go in and be pyroclean at the same time. Which I have to say, we're going to reheat that first, Rod. Yeah. No, we'll do it all together. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. It might be all right, slightly cold, I suppose. I just want to finish the savoury first. Yeah. Okay, let's just finish this one here. We'll get the icing on here, and this will be ready to serve to you in a few minutes as well. And I'm going to take that ham out now and show you what that's like as well. So yeah, the pyroclean, you just take out the racks and away you go. It makes life very, very easy.
The reason why you take the racks out, by the way, is that they will discolour due to the very high temperature. You don't want to ruin the from fire racks.
So then you take out this tray, this rack that's in the universal tray. You can't leave it in either.
No.
No, just the actual tray.
The only thing that goes in is this.
Yeah.
That's one of the items that's going to get the most dirty within the oven. Anyway.
Okay, here's our tartlets already. So there's lots more to taste. I'll take these out now and just move that to the left a little bit. So we'll pop these. I should have the right gadget here for that. Where's my offset spatula? Where it's gone. Not right. Wipe this up. Yeah. I could have done a slightly better job icing my cake, but never mind. These will be very, very hot, by the way. But they are quite nice. They're just little bouchées, a little mouthful, sort of Christmas canapé. We just want to be careful with these ones because they are very, very, very hot still. We'll have those out in a sec. But the pastry, I don't know if you can see, underneath the pastry is nice and crispy. You'll be able to see when you taste them anyway. And you get nice crispy pastry, so it's easy when you cook on the pizza setting. Okay, that's it. Yeah. And does anyone cook their turkey in a bag? No. I had a question on Saturday about that, cooking turkey in a bag. Well, I might just leave those for 1 sec because they are a bit hot. Just be worried about anyone burning themselves. Just give maybe... unless everyone has a napkin. We have napkins there. We'll put them on a napkin maybe. Just they are extremely hot. Here we go. Out they go. Yeah, I had a question about that, but I don't know. That's sort of they were very fashionable. I think in the 70s, cooking in a bag, wasn't it? When was it? At one point it was, but you don't have to do it anymore. Okay. This. Okay, more of these. I have 24 of these rods, so we should have enough for everybody. That one's a bit squishy, but we'll have to do, and that one there. There we go. Then we get rid of this. Now, the ham we'll take out. Okay. Serviettes. We have more serviettes if you need them. Now, I don't know if you can see this ham has come out nice and golden brown. Okay, that's cooked on hot air and steam combined. So we'll chop this up now. Ideally with the ham, you'd obviously let that rest for about half an hour because all the juices are going to rise to the surface and they'll sink back down when you let it rest. Okay. I got everything out of all those ovens I have. Right. Okay. Now, we'll carve this ham. And we'll just clear a bit of space here. I think what I'll do is I'll put this on a single tray with cocktail sticks. It's the handiest, isn't it? And this needs to go back onto a plate to heat up a little bit. Okay. That's the ham. Beautiful golden brown. And lovely and delicious. Yeah. That into. Just find. You could use I tell you what you could use. In there you'll find some trays. Okay, let's carve this. And whenever you cook meat in the combi steam, I think it's one of the things that it actually does the best, because it really cooks beautifully without drying out, which is quite a feat for a lot of things. And this is obviously a centre cut piece of ham. There's very little fat on it, just enough fat to let it go golden brown. But it's about as low fat as you can get with pork, which makes it really nice. I would do things like a whole roast of pork with the crackling and on the bone, and you get fabulous crackling from the combi steam. I don't know how it works. I can't understand how with steam everything goes nice and crispy. But yeah. Does everybody cook a ham at Christmas time as well? Yeah. So you have the both, turkey and ham, which is really nice. What's that? Yeah. So it does make a huge difference when you're cooking meat, just to be able to cook with steam. And the trouble is, when you get one, you can't sort of live without it then. It becomes very difficult to live without it, because suddenly you don't have that benefit of steam to keep it all nice and moist, and you have to sort of start throwing in butter and cream and everything. Although butter's making a comeback, apparently. Has anyone heard that? Yeah, that was good news. Apparently it's not bad for you anymore. It's good for you. So, who knew, eh? Yeah. And all those spreads are absolutely lethal, apparently, so there we are. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard that. So what do we do? Will we do this on a plate? Rod, what do you think? Yeah. Enough plates, and we can just sort of fork it on there. We'll just give you a piece of ham. Anyone would like to try it? We've got various bits and pieces, and I have the tongs here as well. Would everybody like a bit of ham?
Yes, please.
My carving needs something to be desired, I'm afraid, but there we are. Some of it's rather chunky. I don't know if we have any knives. You sort of need a knife here. You may have to use your fingers, if that's not too much to ask. There we go. All right. Here you go, Rod. There we are. Thank you. It's lovely. Now, what have we not done? Oh, I just want to heat up the Christmas pudding, that's all. Yeah. Okay, that's that. So we'll reheat these somehow or another. I wonder if I put that in with steam. It probably wouldn't go, I wouldn't think. By the way, these are the trays you get with the combi steam oven. You get 4 trays, and just so you know, there's a perforated tray, and there's 2 perforated, 2 plain, 2 large, 2 small. So there's 4. So you have, there's a perforated one, and there is a plain. Okay, 2 plain. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, I just want to quickly show you. Okay, with the combi steam oven, before I forget to tell you, you also have an opportunity to reheat your food using steam. So you can reheat things that don't reheat well in a microwave. It reheats incredibly well. So, and it takes about 10 minutes to reheat a plate of food, so it's not super quick. But it does work incredibly well. So that's so you know. On all these ovens, all 3 ovens here, because they're the IQ 700, we have what we call recommended settings. It's the same on the steam and the combi microwave as well. And all these recommended settings here have literally, it's like a digital cookbook. It's all programmed into the oven to make it easy. So say, for instance, here, you go through here, small baked items, bread rolls, poultry. We go into poultry, a whole chicken, and it's a 1.2 kilo chicken, and it recommends hot air grilling, and all you do is you press start. That's it. And it's going to say 220 for an hour and 10 minutes. That's what it recommends, hot air grilling. You don't have to take that recommendation, but it's just there. It's on this oven, because this is a regular oven, you probably wouldn't find it such a useful feature. Where you might find it incredibly useful is on one of these 2 ovens here that you may not be so used to. So, for instance, on this one here, let's find a chicken. I'll go into the recommended settings here. Cakes in tins, and if you come into poultry here, cooked chicken whole, 1.2 kilos, hot air grilling, 230 for 35 minutes. So that will add in some microwaves for you to speed it up. Does that make sense with the recommended settings? Is that making sense? Sorry? It's hot air grilling, they call it. The grill, the top element is on, but the fan is on as well. So that's what Siemens recommends for roasting small roasts, like if you do something like a rack of lamb or a small roast, and it works really well. I did a turkey breast, as I said, stuffed turkey breast roast on that, and it goes so crispy. But it's not the grill. It's not a really hot grill. It's just the fan is on, but the grill, the top element is engaged. So that's what it recommends. Now you can ignore that, and it also has on here programs here. So say we have chicken fresh whole, and you decide that your chicken is not 1.2 kilos, but it's actually 2 kilo chicken, which is going to be a mighty big chicken. And then you press start. It'll just do it for you. You know what I mean? It's all there for you. So you can change the weight. You can change how well you want it done. On this here, wait now, we go back over here. I find it most useful on the combi, say the combination steam, and I want to say steam broccoli or something like that. I don't know how long that takes. You just go into the recommended settings, you find what you're looking for, and you press start. And you can have it more done, less done. It's entirely up to you. Does that make sense? Yeah.
On the hot air grilling, do you use the higher level trays then? No?
You can go as close to the element or far away as you want. And what I would suggest is if I'm doing something like sausages, I'll put them directly on the rack, directly on this pan, and I'll do them quite close to the element because they're small.
Yes.
So they brown on the outside, but they cook in the middle as well. If I'm doing something like a rack of lamb, I'll bring it down to shelf level 2 and let the heat do the work. It's still getting nice and crispy on the outside and dark, but it's cooking from a distance, if you like.
But you would use hot air grilling for even a large piece of meat, not rather than 3D?
Yes, now I probably would do a turkey on 3D hot air.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people, I'll just see what they recommend here, that it recommends what you do a turkey on. It doesn't give you a very big turkey joint. Poultry here. Chicken poulard. Anyone know what poulard is? There we are. What's that?
Sorry, does anybody have to at the hand? Hands up.
Chicken half.
I only got one bit.
You're all right, I've got two.
So it'll give you what it recommends for goose. I hadn't actually had a look at this. Goose, 3.5, 4 kilo goose. What does it recommend? It recommends hot air grilling at 170 for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So that's what it recommends. So you're going to stick your goose on this rack, and it'll go so crispy and all the fat. And the one thing you probably have to do with goose is empty this tray. Because if anyone's ever cooked goose, you know it produces a massive amount of fat. Yep. So, so say, you know, oh, wait, I was getting back to turkey there. Hang on a sec now. Functions. So, recommended settings, and we go to poultry, and there's goose, chicken whole, chicken, duck, goose, goose leg, small turkey whole, rolled turkey, turkey breast, turkey thigh. No, it'll give you only a small turkey, which is annoying, but hang on a sec. Small turkey, 3 kilos, hot air grilling for 1 hour, 40 minutes. Okay? What I normally do with my turkey is I cook it directly in this pan on 3D hot air if you're doing a big turkey. Okay? But hot air grilling, everything goes lovely and crispy. You can turn it once or twice in cooking if you want as well, just to make it go a bit more quickly. So we've got some Christmas pudding for you to try a little bit early as well that was steamed in the combi steam oven. That should be just about reheated. And I have orange cream. And I think what we'll do with this is I'll serve it at the same time as the cake. Rod, what do you think? Put it on the same plate. And then we'll... how many do I need to get? 24. Okay, so 4... Okay. I need to get that onto a tray. Okay. That's it. Pop this on here. Would everybody like a bit of carrot cake as well as Christmas pudding? Yeah? Good. Okay. That's nearly reheated. So we go 6 4s are 24. 28. 28? Okay, thank you. So how many? 6 4s are 20. Are they? Don't confuse me. It's not good. So how many portions do I need?
You need 28.
Thank you. So I need 4 8s of 32. Oh God, that's pathetic. We'll go 8 then, isn't it? Yeah. Awesome. We've got some great mathematicians in here. I wish someone would come up and do the maths for me. Okay, just a little taste. There we are. So we'll do this like that and like that. Okay, I think we're going to put those on a little court. And we also want, we need a few more of those. Let's get the Christmas put out as well. Okay, more tastings here. Yep, finished the ham, that's grand. Anyone can have more of that if they want. If you do the Christmas pudding. And then we also have orange cream. What did I do with that? That's come out. This is orange cream here with a bit of Grand Marnier cream, sugar and orange zest and juice. That's going in as well. So I'll just use one of these, I think. You just pass them over to me, Rod. That'd be great. Thanks. Okay, a little bit of this as well. No calories or anything in this. And we have some forks here as well. Now, okay. So, is anyone cooking their Christmas dinner for the first time in a Siemens oven? Yes. And have you worked out what you're going to do? So, what would you like to know? Well, that's classy, I have to say. I do a lot of talking about cooking Christmas dinner, and then when it comes down to it, I end up having a couple of glasses of champagne. It all goes a bit pear-shaped. No, it doesn't. It's always a nice day, but it's a lot of work, isn't it? So whatever you do. Okay. Now, would you dollop on a bit of cream for me? Thanks. And a fork, and then it'll speed us up a little bit.
Front row, please grab.
Yep, grab, exactly. Don't be shy. Little cream. Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Lovely. There we are. I didn't bring the best tools for this particular job tonight, but never mind. There we are. Yeah, there's a lot to juggle, especially if you do a ham and a turkey on the same day. I always think that makes life a little bit more difficult as well. And it does put pressure on your oven space in a way that you wouldn't normally. Yes. That's it. That's great. Oh, I'm going without Christmas pudding. That's not good. Are we running out? There's another. Did you get 2 trays, yeah? Puddings. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's on there. A little bit more. There we are. The Christmas pudding's made with butter as well, not suet, so a little bit less heavy. Thank you. Yep. And that's it. Great. Now, something's beeping away at me there. I'll just go and see what it is. I think that's reheating. That's fine. Yeah, it does make life a lot easier having those recommended settings, especially when you first start out with something. There we go. Thanks, Rod. Have we got one for everybody in the audience? What's that? Really? Okay, well, double helpings of carrot cake then. It's a shame. How are we doing portion-wise? Everybody got something? It's always difficult to make sure everybody has something. But anyway, there's the last little bit. Yeah. There we go. And I'm going to just break up these cookies as well and put those out. Now, I'm just going to break them up and I'll pop them on here because it's the easiest way to do it, I think, because we don't have one for everybody, do we? So we'll just go We should have. What? Yeah, I think I actually got a knife to do this. Here we are. That's better. A bit cleaner. Break them up. Now I'm just going to give you a taste of these cookies as well, so that it's all very casual, I'm afraid. Okay. There's a whole one for someone. Did everybody get a bit of Christmas pudding and/or carrot cake? Yep. Good. Good. Thank you. Here we go, Rod. We'll use this thing as well. There we go. And we're going to send round some cookies. These are going to be a bit messy, these cookies, because the chocolate's still a bit melted. But it won't be anything bad. There we go. That'll do. They can go around. Okay, so everything is all more or less cooked. Okay. What's that? Good. Thank you. That's nice. Now is the ideal opportunity, especially if you want to ask us anything, because we've finished all the cooking. If anybody wants any of the recipes that you don't have, please let me know, and I'll take your email and email them on to you. And apart from that, we're pretty much finished. But there must be questions. There has to be.
What's the cleaning mode in your steam oven?
That's a very good question. The cleaning mode on the steam oven, there is a decalcification program. But what I tend to do is if I've used it for something very fatty, I just steam it. I just put the steaming on for 20 minutes. And then what you do is you literally have it comes with a very high-tech sponge, but it does work. And you just sponge out the interior. This gets emptied, obviously. And when it comes time to descale the appliance, as you would with the kettle, it will tell you. It actually comes up and says, descale the appliance and question mark. So that you know that it's time to do that. And it's actually quite easy to keep clean. What I will say is if you use it on the hot air only function, it's harder to keep clean than if you use it with steam. Steam is a natural cleaner. Yeah. I mean, you can go and buy a steam cleaner. So it does clean very easily. And then what I also do a little bit of occasionally, these racks all just pop out very easy. There's nothing to unscrew. They just pop out. They can go in the dishwasher. And the rest is a stainless steel interior. So it's actually quite easy to clean. It's sort of self-cleaning in a different way. The one thing, though, don't leave it ever with a lot of water sitting stagnant, because it'll go stagnant. And same with the jug. You need to empty the jug as well, which is quite important. On this oven here, there is also Pyroclean. This is on the compact combi microwave. There is that very efficient form of self-cleaning is on this oven. And it has moulded sides, so there's nothing to take out. You just take out these two racks, but there's no racks to pull out because the sides are moulded. And this oven is a very high-quality oven. It's an extremely high-quality oven in terms of actually the cooking functions.
One of the big things first about the Pyroclean, can I just point out, outside this seal essentially, it's worth giving that a wipe before you run the program.
Yeah.
Because it gets so hot it nearly bakes any wee bits and pieces on. So literally on the outer face of the thing, give it a wee wipe down whenever you can. After the program, it's much, much harder. So yes, and it does work. It cleans the glass properly. I've tried it many times. It
does work. It's phenomenal. We walked into somewhere where we were doing a training, not here, it was up, because everything's always lovely here, but in Dublin, and we were doing a training thing, and all the ovens have been let go all Siemens ovens let go very, very dirty. And we had a whole lot of people coming in, and we had to put them all on Pyroclean to cook, and they literally were filthy. And we put them all on the shortest setting, and within an hour and a quarter, they were clean. It is kind of miraculous. Just don't cook your chicken in it, because we had someone do that once as well. And the whole thing went on fire, so it wasn't very good. So just be careful. But obviously, it does work incredibly well, and it's no more Mr. Muscle or any of those things. You just literally wipe out. It's like ash at the end.
Are all the racks in all of the ovens dishwasher?
Yes, well, I always put them in the dishwasher. I've not had a problem with them. Yeah, they are.
You couldn't tell us how to cook the turkey in that one?
I am, yes. Okay, what size turkey have you got? What? £20 turkey. Wow, God, that's fantastic. Yeah. Okay, what I would do is I personally, for that size turkey, I'm going to cook it in the universal pan, which has disappeared. The pan. That's okay. No, it's good. Universal pan. Put it in there. Do it how you normally do it. How would you what have you been cooking it up to now? Sorry, have you used gas or electric? Okay, and did you use the fan setting or the pan setting? So I would use the very first setting you get to and do it as normal. So 3D hot air, I would do it on that setting. And for that size turkey, you're going to get guaranteed air through the whole thing because that's a big turkey. You need to make sure that's really thoroughly cooked. What's that? So you're not stuffing the cavity, are you? You are. Okay. You're not. Well, the advice, I don't know if that kind of goes in and out. That it's to stuff the breast and not the cavity, because of the tinfoil around it. Yeah. So I'd cook it on 3D hot air. What temperature have you used to cook it? Did you use to cook it? 175. Yeah. So sometimes I would start it at 190 and drop it down to 170. For 40 minutes or so, just to get the heat going, and then drop it down. Yeah, that's how I do it. And I do it on 3D hot air, that size turkey. And you can put it in at shelf level 1 or 2, it won't matter. It'll be absolutely fine. And yes, I do it how you've always done it, exactly the same way. And the temperature will be, if you've been cooking it on a fan in an F oven, it should be more or less exactly the same. Perhaps what I would do is do something before Christmas Day, like a roast chicken or something like that, just to make sure that your cooking times from what you're used to. This will be very accurate, but the 3D hot air runs about 20 degrees and faster than conventional. But if you're used to fan, it should be roughly the same. Yeah. So that's what I do. A smaller turkey I do on the hot air grilling, if I was doing a smaller turkey.
What's the maximum size you do turkey in hot air grilling?
No, that's a good question. I wouldn't go much up above about sort of £10 turkey. I wouldn't go much up above that. Yeah, but to say I've never really seen a turkey much smaller than 4 kilos, and big up to 28 kilos is really gigantic. This can fit up to 32 kilos. I've yet to see a 32 pound turkey. Sorry, 32 kilos would be something. It'd be a bit scary. Yeah. That would be weird, I'd have to say. Yeah. You can also do your ham. I saw a lovely recipe for cooking your ham with the crackling on. I'm going to try it this year, but I haven't done it yet, where you just roast the ham with the crackling on, and then you put the glaze on the last 20 minutes. So instead of skinning it, you leave the skin on, and you get a lovely crispy outside. Yeah, that's another way of doing it.
If you're doing your turkey in the steam oven,
Yep,
you leave it uncovered.
uncovered. Yeah. And I started mine. What did I do? I did hot air and steam, and then I did it hot air and steam 180 for about 20 minutes, and I turned it down. And you want to allow a little bit less time per pound than you would in this oven. So let me just see what it recommends here for turkey. It may not give us turkey in this recommended settings. Cakes on trays, bread rolls, poultry. The most useful, what's that? Roast turkey joint, 1.5 kilos. Turkey breast. It doesn't give you a whole turkey in here. Hot air and steam. That's what I did mine on. Hot air and steam, 45 minutes. But I had about a 12-pound turkey, and I think I dropped it down. What I have is this probe thing, which is these are from IKEA. I'm not going to, shouldn't say that. That's probably a dirty word here. Sorry. Sorry about that. But these are like €8. This is a probe, and you can just take the temperature. It doesn't have to be. It can be from any good kitchen shop. But it's just a gadget. It's very useful when you're first starting to cook, because the turkey will sit, if you cover it with foil, really happily for an hour. If it's in a warm place, and it'll actually improve it. But just make sure it comes up to 75 degrees at the thickest part of the leg, so you can't really go wrong. Otherwise, you can end up, poisoning someone. But the other thing is that the reason turkey is very difficult to cook is the legs cook more slowly than the breast. So by the time the legs are done, the breast is overcooked, which is why it's always dry. Or can be dry.
And we have a new oven about to be launched with this built into it.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah. It has a temperature probe built into the newer version. Is it wired? What way does it work? It's wired, yes.
I think you just plug it into the top, isn't it? Or do you? Yeah.
It's inside.
Yeah.
Works like a headphone jack.
Yeah.
Allows you to do yourself thing.
So that's that. Does anybody else have any other questions, Christmas or otherwise? Yes.
I do like to steak.
Steak?
Pies,
Steak pies.
pies in the microwave.
Do you have a crepe pastry crust underneath?
Yeah, right round.
Right round. Okay, that sounds delicious.
But it's still soggy underneath.
Soggy underneath. I would definitely do. Which oven do you have?
Just in the middle, I think, microwave.
This one.
That's all I have, yeah.
Okay, so I would go for this setting here. You've got a couple of choices on this one, but I would definitely go for the intensive heat. Have you tried that? Okay, that will give you intensive heat underneath, and it'll give you a nice dry heat for. Is it puff pastry?
It is.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be lovely on that one. Or you can go to the. Is there a pizza setting on this? I can't remember. No, is there? Don't think
I
so.
tried the top and bottom, but it doesn't work.
No.
And then I tried the 3D, it still doesn't work.
No, I would go for on this one. I'd go for the intensive heat and put it up nice and high. Up to 200. Yeah.
Does that use the fan at the same time, or is that just
No, this one doesn't use the fan. It's intensive, and it'll be that's intensive heat. But the bottom, the base of it's meant for pastry pies. That's what it's for. The other thing you have on all these ovens is an I button. So intense bottom heat for crispy bases. It actually tells you. So if you scroll through the dial on the function setting here, so you select the function 3D hot air and you press I, you don't know which one to use, you press I, bake on 1 or 2 levels, and that's all the information it gives you on that one. But if you go through them, it'll tell you. Literally, press I, bottom heating, is final baking or preserving. That's what that one's for. And so on this one, it'll even tell you which rack to use and where to use it, where to put it in the oven. So it does make it very sort of foolproof for yeah. Okay. Anybody else got anything else they want to ask while we're all still here? Yeah. Hot air grilling? Yeah, hot air grilling. Yeah. No, you don't cover it. You just put it on shelf level 2. The question was if you're cooking a small roast on hot air grilling, I would cook it fairly low down in the oven at shelf level 2 and let the fan will cook underneath as well. Sometimes I might turn it once during cooking, turn it over physically. But apart from that, the oven will do the job for you. And it does do a lovely job. It does really. No, you don't cover it. You can do this on the combi. It has hot air grilling as well. This one doesn't, but it has hot air steam. And this one doesn't have a grill, but this does. So just so but this has a grill as well. Is there anything I haven't covered? Anything I've forgotten? Covered nearly everything. Okay, in the teppanyaki.
No, we're supposed to have ice here because it's more fun whenever you use ice.
Yeah.
Let it rest, melt on it for a while. And it really does clean up easy. I will find that out again tonight later. We need to bring the ice in.
Yeah.
Folks, has anybody got any other questions before we sort of wrap up?
Oh, that was.
We owe you an extra as well.
Oh.
Folks, thank you very much for coming.
Yeah.
To our last cookery events of this year, our 80th anniversary year, so very much appreciated. Alan, thank you so much.
God, you're so good. Thank you very much. It's lovely. Thank you. Look at those lovely flowers. Thanks all very much for coming, and good luck with all your Christmas cooking, shall we say? Yeah. And those are lovely, aren't they? Beautiful. Thank you so much. That's lovely.
Pleasure. If I could just wrap up by saying, first of all, Rodney, I know, thank you earlier, you really did. Yes, you know how to do this smoothly. It is, to Eleanor's credit, the fact that she was standing here calm and collected while 4, possibly 5 minutes out of it, running around the entire factory for trying to keep things under control and look at the end results. So not quite finished for us yet. But thank you very much for coming. Much appreciated. And any other questions, you know we're always on the other end of the phone. We do have these guys on the end of our phone. So any really tricky questions, we'll try and get those sorted.
Definitely. Yeah.
If you'd like to come up afterwards,
absolutely, and have a chat. Please do, because
by all means, please.
Yeah.
I'd be delighted to help.
No, sorry, no, this was for that.
Anyone have a spare recipe at all?
There's a couple behind Robbie there, I think. Yes, and with a bit of luck, we'll have this again in the next couple of days, hopefully on the website.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for watching.
Yeah.
All the best.
Thanks a minute. Good night. Good night. Yeah. Thank you for the beautiful flowers. They're gorgeous.